Though, would it be lovely to go and churn your own butter? Sure, maybe. I don't have time for that. There's going to be moments where you feel as though a story is being told about some caricature of you that actually has nothing to do with you.
Meghan Markle just destroyed her own career in 30 seconds. The Bloomberg interview that was supposed to save her image became the moment she exposed everything fake about herself. One answer had everyone screaming at their screens, and it wasn't what you think. I don't have time to make dinner every night. Wait, what? The woman with no job, married to a prince who also has no job, living in a $14 million mansion with nannies and staff, doesn't have time to cook?
You search for your name, and there's like 1,000 different news stories about 1,000 different things.
Yes.
And so...
But that bombshell was just the appetizer. What came next made that look innocent. She pretended she'd never heard criticism that millions have been saying for months. She expected fans to treasure her empty jam jars like holy relics. And then she accidentally revealed the real reason Netflix cut her deal.
Markle's despicable new interview with Emily Chang from Bloomberg, an interviewer who wasn't prepared to...
But the moment that broke the internet, when her childhood memory exposed who she really is, and it's darker than anyone imagined. This wasn't just an interview gone wrong. This was a complete meltdown disguised as media training. The commentary tearing it apart was brutal, but necessary. Because what Meghan revealed about herself in this interview changes everything we thought we knew. Before we dive into this manipulation masterclass, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Because what we're about to uncover will change how you see every Meghan Markle interview forever. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single detail of this breakdown. The interview started with what looked like the worst acting performance of Meghan's career. When asked about people saying she's glorifying homemaking, her response was pure theater.
Her bills? Like, you literally put out a series about your life in the royal family. How she takes blatant digs.
Oh, really? She said, eyes wide with fake shock. That feels odd to me. I mean, I hadn't heard that. Girl, you haven't heard that, the criticism that's been flooding social media for months. The commentary was spot on. Why does she always do these fake reactions? Oh, what? They're saying this about me, huh? It's like she's performing surprise for an audience that knows she's lying. This wasn't the first time either. Throughout the entire interview, Meghan kept pretending to be unaware of obvious things everyone knows she's been dealing with.
This is a woman who is trying to create a narrative and make other people feel as if, oh, they're stupid.
It's this pattern of fake innocence that makes everything she says feel calculated and rehearsed. But here's where it gets interesting. If she really hadn't heard these criticisms, why was she already prepared with detailed responses? The whole act fell apart when she started addressing points she claimed she'd never encountered before. You can't have talking points ready for criticism you supposedly never heard. But this performance was nothing compared to what came next. Then came the moment that had everyone questioning reality.
Finally get to share the me that's been here for so long that people maybe haven't had the same visibility to. Coming back on Instagram.
Meghan Markle, with a straight face, told the world she doesn't have time to make dinner every night. Let that sink in for a second. This is a woman who is married to Prince Harry, a man who literally doesn't have a job. She has multiple nannies for her 2 children. She employs an entire staff to maintain their $14 million Montecito mansion. Her daily schedule consists of what exactly? And yet somehow cooking dinner is impossible. The commentary perfectly captured what everyone was thinking.
I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying. I think Emily Chang knows that the whole brand...
What does she do? I know she's launching this whole dumb thing, but you literally are married to a prince who doesn't work. He doesn't have a job. You have so many nannies. You have employees. You can't make dinner. But wait, it gets worse. She then pivots to talking about how she's great at ordering takeout and plating it beautifully. So she has time to order food and artistically arrange it on plates, but cooking is out of the question? The disconnect from reality was staggering. And then came the most ridiculous part.
The monarchy will survive this, come what may, but I think there is a sort of sadness, I think now that's becoming...
Her obsession with wiping the sides of plates. Even for her kids' meals, she takes time to clean the edges to make everything look a little bit more beautiful. So she has time for plate aesthetics, but not actual cooking. The commentary nailed it. I cannot imagine having a meal with Meghan Markle where she's literally cleaning, changing the order on the plates. No one cares. I just want to eat. This wasn't just tone deaf, it was insulting to every working parent who actually struggles with time management.
Already successful in their own right. This was just a second nature thing that they're doing. Meghan is coming off the back of being...
The interview took an even more bizarre turn when Meghan started talking about her business success. She claimed her products were selling out so fast it was actually a problem. A problem? Really? Here's where the math gets interesting. She admitted they went from selling 10 units to 100. That's what she called 10x'd our inventory. 10 to 100. That's not scaling a business. That's barely qualifying as a hobby. But she presented this like it was some massive commercial breakthrough. The commentary demolished this delusion.
Still best friends, the same one since I was 17. Like, I'm a real mom. I have to go and...
You're selling like 10 jars of jam. You will not show the figures. She's sold out. Yeah, because you're doing this fake sellout where you sell 10, 20 products and then, oh, we're sold out. Then came the million-jar revelation that exposed everything. Meghan claimed they suddenly needed to make a purchase order for 1 million jars. But here's the problem. If you're only selling hundreds, why would you need to manufacture 1 million? The commentary hit the nail on the head. She just admitted she can't sell 1 million. She's got to make 1 million now.
Things really began ramping up in terms of a spiral downwards. Meg initially announced that the ads of her products were going to...
So she was doing way less than 1 million, and 1 million's not that much in the scope of launching a global business. The whole thing was a house of cards. She was creating fake scarcity by limiting supply to tiny amounts, then claiming overwhelming demand. But when pressed about actual scale, the numbers didn't add up. And it wasn't even her recipe. Perhaps the most revealing moment came when Meghan talked about scaling her home recipe. She went on and on about the complexity of maintaining the same quality and flavor.
1,000. People think they know who you are. Your story has been told 1,000 ways, but I want...
When going from homemade to mass production. Can you make 1 million cobblers that taste just like the one you have at home? She asked, as if she was pioneering some revolutionary concept. The commentary shut this down immediately. It's not your home recipe. Don't keep trying to claim that it is. And that's the thing. We found out later that her jam is actually manufactured by the Republic of Tea Company. So all this talk about preserving her grandmother's secret recipe or whatever story she was spinning.
So I think probably it was different several years ago, where...
Complete fiction. She kept talking about the technical aspects of commercial canning and preservation as if she was personally involved in the process. I mean, now I'm going to get a little nerdy and jammy with you, she said, trying to sound like an expert. But the reality? She hired a company that already knows how to make jam, slapped her label on it, and called it authentic. The commentary perfectly captured the absurdity. I don't know how to jar jams. I don't expect you to know how to jar jams. That's why you hire companies that can jar jams.
So much fun to watch you in the driver's seat tonight.
Maybe it's fun to watch. I'm not sure about being in the driver's seat, but yeah.
It's not rocket science. Thousands of people have turned home recipes into commercial products. She was acting like she invented the process. But this fake expertise was nothing compared to her most disturbing childhood memory. The interview took a dark turn when Meghan was asked about her pricing strategy. Instead of talking about market research or consumer accessibility, she launched into a story that accidentally revealed who she really is at her core. She talked about being in high school, working an after-school job, saving up money with her father's help.
This is in the Daily Mail today. I am so sick.
But here's the twisted part. Her goal wasn't to help her family, buy something meaningful, or save for college. No, she was obsessed with buying a shirt that said BB. And if she was really lucky, one with rhinestones. All I wanted to do was save up to buy a shirt that said BB. And if you could get the one with the rhinestone BB, you really made it, she reminisced. This was her formative memory. Not the hard work, not her father's support, not learning the value of earning money.
Okay, so unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to block some of these Meghan Markle fans because I thought this was just...
It was about getting a status symbol that would make her look rich and special. The commentary perfectly dissected what this revealed. She's literally remembering her childhood, and instead of remembering her father who helped raise her and do all this stuff, her memory is trying to get the rhinestone BB shirt so she could have a status symbol to make herself look richer, more powerful. That's what means anything to her. Not all the things that her family did, her father. No, it's, oh, that sweatshirt, could I get it? This wasn't just materialism. It was a window into her soul.
She's just prancing around, she's in her safe space, she's doing her thing. It would be fine if there wasn't this sort of destruction that had...
Even as a teenager, she wasn't motivated by family, education, or personal growth. She was driven by the desire to appear wealthy and important to others. And decades later, nothing has changed. But her delusions about consumer behavior were about to get even worse. If you thought the BB shirt story was disconnected from reality, wait until you hear Meghan's expectations for her $9 jam customers. She genuinely believes that after people finish eating her overpriced preserves, they'll treasure the empty jar as a keepsake.
Is there an inherent tension in trying to be relatable while also being...
After you finish the jam, you could use that to put your flowers in it. Little jar, or your pens on your desk, she explained, as if this was some brilliant value proposition. The commentary absolutely destroyed this fantasy. Not only is that way too expensive for a damn jar of jam, $9, you expect them to keep the jar for flowers or pens. Who thinks that high of themselves? But it gets worse, she continued. I like the idea of having something that just felt signature in that way and keepsake packaging. Keepsake packaging. For jam.
Tell me about that girl and how she grew up. They put on the TV because all of us kids had to stay there until our parents could come and pick us up.
She actually believes people will display her empty containers as treasured mementos of their connection to her brand. The narcissism is breathtaking. What about all the girls who want to have something of me to keep on their desk? Oh, this jar of jam can hold their pencils. This is how she thinks. Every product isn't just a product. It's a piece of herself that fans should feel honored to own. And then she had the audacity to talk about authenticity.
What can I say? She's live in Los Angeles, the host of Kinsey's
being what makes her brand special. The commentary nailed it. Her authenticity, it's literally the one thing she doesn't have. It is so fake. Everything here just feels fake. But the most devastating revelation was still coming. The interview reached its peak when Meghan accidentally revealed the real story behind her Netflix partnership. What she thought was a positive spin became a confession that exposed everything. When asked why she didn't raise money independently for her business, she said Netflix made a really compelling sell.
Well, what do we have here? You know, everybody was really upset with me for daring to say
not sell, like she was trapped. But the real bombshell came when she tried to explain their partnership evolution. She claimed Netflix doubled down in their support of her, but the commentary caught what she really meant. Just days after this interview, they've signed a reportedly far less lucrative first look deal similar to the Obamas. It is, without a doubt, a setback. The truth became clear. Netflix didn't double down. They downgraded her.
Emily Chang just sat down with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, on Bloomberg's The Circuit. And this is the conversation.
The original $100 million deal was slashed to a basic first-look arrangement where they don't have to pay her unless they actually want her projects. As the commentary explained, that means less money. That means they're not as into her. If they liked her, they would not let her have that right. But here's the smoking gun. When discussing how the partnership evolved, Meghan let slip that she owed Netflix a lot of money. That's why they became partners in her business. It wasn't investment, it was debt collection.
So, a very, very good morning to you, class. There is a rate.
Her previous projects had failed so badly that she was in the red with the streaming giant. Netflix essentially said, "You can't pay us back the traditional way, so we'll take a piece of your jam business instead." And she's trying to spin this financial disaster as a strategic partnership. The desperation was becoming impossible to hide. As the interview wound down, Meghan deployed her favorite strategy, playing victim while living in luxury. When confronted about the constant negative coverage, she blamed everyone except herself.
The way Meghan Sussex just told the British media, "I see you, and without me there would be no you."
There is a very powerful machine, she claimed, suggesting that criticism of her is artificially generated for profit. Those stories aren't just appearing because it's fun. Clickbait has a huge financial implication. So, according to Meghan, any negative coverage is just greedy media manipulation, not legitimate criticism of her actions. The hypocrisy is staggering. She's sitting in her $14 million mansion, complaining about a machine that generates negative stories while simultaneously doing interviews to promote her products.
I thought one point that was really interesting as well is she said, sometimes when you're getting all of this negative attention,
She claims she protects herself from seeing criticism, yet she's clearly affected by every negative comment and responds to specific critiques in detail. The commentary captured the absurdity perfectly. How can you say that? I'm sure that is so full of it. A machine? Is that what I am? I'm a cyborg? Of course, we're all lying about you abandoning your own family and Harry's family. Oh, we're just making that up. She's trying to have it both ways, staying in the public eye for profit.
I think oftentimes the negative voices, are they saying negative things and then secretly going home and making single skillet spaghetti?
While claiming to be victimized by public attention. She wants the fame, the money, the platform, and the product sales, but none of the accountability that comes with being a public figure. But perhaps the most telling moment was when she said people don't really know her, they're just talking about a version of her. The commentary hit back, but that's the truth. So if you can really compartmentalize it, though, those people don't know me and they're not talking about me. The problem is, we do know her because she keeps telling us exactly who she is.
So we're back. I'm back from my holidays, very, very jet lagged. I'm sorry, my washing machine.
Through interviews like this one. By the end of the interview, what started as damage control had become a complete exposure of everything wrong with Meghan's public persona. Every answer revealed another layer of delusion, entitlement, or contradiction. She couldn't maintain the relatable image while talking about her army of staff. She couldn't claim authenticity while discussing manufactured products and fake scarcity. She couldn't play victim while promoting luxury lifestyle content from her mansion.
She opens her mouth and a lie comes out. Meghan Markle's despicable new interview.
The Bloomberg interview was supposed to rehabilitate her image and launch her business empire. Instead, it became a masterclass in how not to handle media when you're already facing credibility issues. Every response felt more tone-deaf than the last. Every explanation dug the hole deeper. The commentary throughout was brutal but necessary, pointing out contradictions that mainstream media often ignores. This wasn't just entertainment, it was accountability journalism in real time.
We got a new Meghan interview today, and I have a lot of thoughts. Meghan did an interview with Emma Chang on The Circuit, and they walked around Santa Barbara, went to a...
Calling out the gaps between Meghan's words and reality. What we witnessed wasn't just another celebrity interview gone wrong. It was the moment when all the carefully constructed narratives collapsed under the weight of their own contradictions. The mask didn't just slip, it completely disintegrated. And the scariest part, she seemed to have no idea how badly it was going. Every answer revealed someone completely disconnected from how normal people live, think, and shop. This wasn't just a bad interview. It was a psychological profile of someone who has lost all connection to reality. The Bloomberg interview was supposed to mark Meghan's triumphant return to public relevance. Instead, it became the moment everyone realized the Empress truly has no clothes. And unlike her overpriced jam jars, this disaster wasn't selling out anytime soon.